This New Year's Eve, we decided to try the much talked about common thread. Housed in a beautifully renovated late 19th century home, located in the recently revitalized Starland district of midtown Savannah. Upon entering, a classic southern layout complete with an open-air winding staircase welcomes you to an atmosphere with an air of warmth and hospitality. For tonight's New Year's Eve event, the kitchen has meticulously prepared a 6-course preset meal, but first we were greeted with a surprise cocktail on the house. The Chatham Artillery Punch has a hint of bourbon, followed by the sweetness of Jamaican rum and finishes with a sparkling citrus bite. First up was our mousse course. Bluffton oysters baked with beef fat chimichurri, crispy potato, and pancetta. Pork and duck pate topped with chestnut mustard and citrus, and a biscuit topped with pimento creme fraiche, caviar, and a ribeye cap. The pork and duck rillette was surprising and especially delicious. For our first course, we were presented with a dish of raw scallops bathed in fresh citrus, charred leek, spiced oil, and crispy ginger, and a winter vegetable salad with apple, kohlrabi, radish, mustard, chestnut, butter lettuce, and a sweet and vinaigrette tasting dressing. The scallops had a ceviche-like quality, with citrus and ginger being the prominent flavors, and the winter's salad was robust and hearty, with radish and apple complementing the sweet and tangy dressing. Next up, our second cocktail of the evening, the Golden Delicious, a mild vodka and manzanilla sherry with honey, apple, and lemon oil. With a sweet full body and a crisp tail, this was a delight and incredibly refreshing. For our second course, we had potato pave with black truffle, celery root cream with cured egg yolk, as well as country pate with whipped foie gras, persimmon, and pecan. The potato pave was golden and crisp, and when paired with the black truffle and concentrated celery, each bite presented a slightly salty and savory punch with a delightfully earthy finish. The country pate had a smooth, firm texture with the flavor of cured pork and cream. The complement of foie gras with a touch of black truffle elevated this dish as my favorite of the evening. Our third course consisted of agnolotti filled with broccoli and cheddar, with Calabrian chili and white truffle. Also crab rice with blue crab, Carolina gold rice, celery, and brown butter. The pasta was cooked just past al dente, the cheddar was mild with the full flavor of the roast broccoli shining through. The chili and truffle added just enough depth to complete this earthy delight. The crab rice had an almost risotto texture, with the essence of crab ever prevalent, but not overpowering. By no means was this a bad dish, but it was definitely the weakest of the evening. With both of these dishes being on the earthy side, the aforementioned Golden Delicious was a perfect after-course palate refresher. This brings us to our fourth course, roasted cabbage steak with chestnut velouté, cured duck egg, black pepper, and chives, as well as our ribeye with oxtail, mustard green, chanterelle, and shiitake. The roasted cabbage steak was hearty and meaty in its firmness, with a bit of crunch and crispiness along its edges. The velouté was complex and savory, with a hint of black pepper popping through the back half of each bite. The ribeye was cooked a perfect medium rare, with a sweet, almost burgundy-like sauce infused throughout. The oxtail was cooked to a stew-like softness, and when spread on each bite, the sweet, soft, meaty morsels almost dissolved on your tongue. If you're a meat eater who enjoys a bit of complex pairing to your cut, this dish is heaven on a plate. Finally, our dessert course. Vanilla bean cake with black olive oil, local olive oil, and mascarpone, and chocolate pavlova with hazelnut, caramel, and brown butter. The chocolate pavlova was delightfully airy with a strong sweet cocoa flavor, giving way to a hint of hazelnut, and when topped with the caramel, created a sweet, sticky palate-warming concoction. But between these two, it was the vanilla bean that took the cake for me. Sweet mascarpone with vanilla paired with savory, salty, almost buttery olive oil was out of this world delicious. Lastly, just as our evening was wrapping up, we were presented with a parting gift of treats to help us ring in the new year. Overall, a fantastic meal with world-class service. If you find yourself in Savannah and on the lookout for some fine dining, or even if you just want a fun night out and are looking for a welcoming and relaxing environment that distinctively has that Savannah charm, Common Thread should definitely be on your shortlist.